Hey, this is Jamal Baraka for Garbage Tier Comic Reviews and Puff Pieces, and I just wanted to make a quick video about an article I saw on Screen Rant related to Rosanne Barr. In this article, it basically goes over her tweet she made this morning expressing disgust over the level of support that James Gunn had been receiving after he was fired from Disney. He deleted over 10,000 tweets over the weekend, and it's just socially unacceptable material was found on his Twitter feed. Now, whether you agree that Gunn should be fired or not, I don't know if anybody would agree that it's socially acceptable to be making tweets related to rape or pedophilia. I haven't run across anybody that thought that that was socially acceptable. What Rosanne is basically saying in this article is by Dan Zinski. I don't know anything about him, but he is the person who put this together. And I do like this article because it's straight to the point. A lot of times you get a lot of these articles and they're basically clickbait and they stray too far into opinion as opposed to just stating the facts of the material. Granted that this is very straightforward and simple. It says in an early morning tweet, Rosanne expressed disgust at the level of support being shown for fired Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn. Disney dismissed Gunn after the tweets surfaced. He's received an outpouring of support both from colleagues and Hollywood. That Hollywood is supporting James Gunn it just feeds into the narrative we've been hearing for years that you have open secrets in Hollywood, where they have cults or secret parties and in general about, that basically reinforce rape culture or pedophilia. There's been a long-standing rumor that a lot of people in Hollywood, executives, are pedophiles, and we had the Harvey Weinstein situation where a lot of women came forward and said they had been sexually assaulted or there had been attempts at sexual assault. And it's something that a lot of people know about. Not too many names come out about this. And if you remember, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim publicly came out and said that this is a thing in Hollywood and their lives have been ruined over it. So it's not something that should be taken lightly when you have a Hollywood director making jokes about pedophilia or rape, because you don't know if you don't fit out or whatever. But lately she's come back and she's been on the defensive. She says she makes public statements expressing defiance rather than remorse. And the actual tweet says, "I'm disgusted to read all of the support for James Gunn's pedophilia jokes as the same people who they blacklisted me for a joke they didn't even understand." Now, I think that her jokes, I don't know if Rosanne should have been fired for her tweets. We're in an era where everything on social media is super scrutinized to the point where you're immediately attacked. And you could go and just say something and immediately you're jumped on by 30, 50, or in Roseanne's case, maybe thousands of people at one time calling for your head. And it's just a joke. You hadn't put much thought into it and it probably was, in your opinion, harmless. But personally, I don't believe Rosanne should have been fired. That's just me. So in her case, she was removed from the show, but the show was picked up again and the show is going on without her, and which is also probably a slap in the face. And I'm sure that she took a payout. She's not making money from the show, but I believe that she probably owned the rights to the characters. And the article says, after reaching an agreement with Barr, we will see her reaping no financial benefits from the new show. Barr has been more combative in this regards. She's insisted that her tweet about Valerie Jarrett, innocent mistake, and as she didn't even know Jarrett was black. Now, this I don't believe, but that's neither here nor there. The voices of condemnation raised against Barr in the immediate wake of the tweet included those from her Roseanne castmates who lost their jobs. They've since got them back, but they lost their jobs initially, so I'm sure they were pissed off, particularly Sarah Gilbert and Michael Fishman, both of whom were ribbed by Barr for throwing her under the bus. It's been a very different story for Gunn. Now, with James Gunn, we've seen Batista, Zoe Saldana, and Chris Pratt come out in support of Gunn. Dave Bautista, the person who plays Drax, didn't really have much of a career in Hollywood before getting involved in Guardians of the Galaxy. Zoe and Chris Pratt have seen their career explode since the movie's been in theater. We also have Michael Rooker, who played Yondu. Both films quit Twitter. He quit Twitter over Disney's decision to fire Gunn. It's loyalty. It's a team. And Gunn made a statement saying that he took responsibility for his tweets. It was posted over 10 years ago. The other difference between James Gunn and Roseanne is that Roseanne tweeted this stuff in 2018, knowing the social climate. James Gunn made his tweets over 10 years ago. So we're holding him accountable for something that he said as a joke 10 years ago. My response to that is that I wasn't even the same person I am 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't think it's fair to hold me accountable for my actions, even 5 years ago. And this guy was fired for something he said over a decade ago. We've went through 2 different presidential campaigns during that time, and hard to hold somebody to those standards. Roseanne says that she would apologize, but she reversed course and gone on the defensive, saying her firing was politically motivated, blacklisting. I don't know if it was politically motivated. It's just the social climate of the times. You aren't going to get away with this stuff late in 2018. You aren't going to be able to go out there and just say what you want, do what you want without any backlash. Should Gunn be reinstated by Disney? I can't say that, because there are a lot of people in this country and all over the world who've dealt with rape, pedophilia. For those people, that's not anything to joke about. There's so many tweets on the subject matter. It just makes it hard for me to say, well, is this something that he does when he's not working? Does he rape kids when he's not at work? Is this something that's just he finds funny? If this is the case, I can't justify Disney bringing him back on. And if he worked for me, I couldn't justify bringing him back on. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy is possibly one of the best movies to come out in the past decade. It's one of the best sci-fi movies to come out. It's made Marvel over $1 billion, both movies combined. And this is something I'm sure they considered, but this is also something that if James Gunn is on board for any film going forward, is going to be something that he can be beat over the head with. This guy makes jokes about rape and pedophilia. Is this something that we would want to have working for us? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is something I would have working for me. All I do is run a Facebook group and I run a website. I don't think I can handle somebody on my team that makes jokes about rape and pedophilia. That's just me. So that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. Do you believe that there's a double standard in Hollywood with the coverage of Roseanne and James Gunn? I think that there is a double standard here, but I think based on the social climate, if you're conservative, you're going to get bashed anyway. That's just what it is. If you're progressive, you get more support than a conservative in Hollywood, social media, whatever. And with James Gunn, I know I used to follow him. My Twitter feed is a lot drier with him not being there, because I don't have any tweets from James Gunn bashing the right. Good thing, before I close this video, is just a case of people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Now, he's a lefty, and he's a social justice warrior. He bashes Trump all the time. He got a taste of his own medicine. They went and dug up some stuff, and basically he got fired for it. People in glass houses should not throw stones. Have a good one. This is Jamal Baraka for Garbage Tier Comic Reviews and Puff Pieces. Have a good night.